Joe Palmer did that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from my living rooms. Again, Scott is on assignment in Utah. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Today, a little bit lighthearted. We're going to talk about cuisine. So
Everybody loves food.
everybody loves food. When I commanded the headquarters company for the 372nd Engineer Brigade at Fort Snelling, Minnesota, one of the active guard reserve soldiers, AGR, took me to the 5-8 Club in Minneapolis. So it used to be a speakeasy during Prohibition. It's just like almost like a hole in the wall. You know, you wouldn't even think anything twice of it, right? And there I discovered the Juicy Lucy, and I was hooked.
Careful now.
This thing was so delicious. So, while we're talking about it today, Fox News did an article about the Juicy Lucy. So,
Same Juicy Lucy?
the Juicy Lucy.
Wow.
And I'm delighted to explain its meaning. I really am. It's a staple for pubs and taverns across the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. The thing about this cheeseburger is that the cheese is in the middle of the burger. When you bite into the burger, the creamy cheese kind of spills out. But you got to be careful. That they warned me as a newbie that cheese is extremely hot. That cheese is extremely hot and could burn your mouth. It's the warning usually given to newbies. Pair this with string fries and an ice cold can of Coke. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Okay, I'm trying to picture this burger. So obviously this is not like a quarter-pound patty from McDonald's or Burger King or something like that. You got to have some substance to get cheese inside there, right?
Think of 2 quarter-pounders with cheese in it, and you mash it and put it together. You know, think of it like that.
Okay.
And then that's your burger, like a half pound.
Okay, so I'm going to go back in time here to when my kids were still living at home, and one of their buddies came over to our house. His name was Joe, and this guy liked to eat. They all liked to eat back then, okay, because they were living at home. And he had this big old package of ground beef and some cheddar cheese, like shredded cheddar cheese. He mixed up this burger and then stuck his thumbs in there, made a big old cavity, and then crammed this cheese in there and put it, molded it back together and cooked it. I think he cooked it on the grill or maybe cooked it in a frying pan. I don't know, but it was a pretty good burger, but I'd never seen anything like that. So maybe that was his form of the Juicy Lucy.
Yeah, and you could put pickles, you can put lettuce, you can put tomatoes on it. The cheese is in that center. It's really hot. Legend has it that a customer came in and asked for his cheese put in between 2 hamburger patties. On the first bite, molten cheese came out, and the customer said, "That's one Juicy Lucy." That's how it got its name. It is claimed as Minnesota's home of the original Juicy Lucy. So kind of like what you said, Scott, the cheese is packed between 7 ounces of beef, 2 3.5 ounces of patty, and then it's packed in there, and then the patties are sealed around the cheese with perfect precision. American cheese seems to be most common in these burgers, or shredded, I guess. Then you mix in a little green onion and some seasoning, and it's heavenly. I'm telling you, this is something you want to try. You need to find the perfect chemistry of beef and cheese, though. I've tried it unsuccessfully at home. I've tried it. Maybe I'm not leaving it on to cook enough for that cheese to melt. I don't know. I just couldn't get it right.
Well, what's happening to your burger that it's not coming out right?
Well, I think it's either not hot enough or I don't leave it on long enough. It's probably the heat.
Well, I can understand not leaving it on long enough because you probably want to eat it. So you want to get to it. But, I mean, it's the same when they like if you ever had a bratwurst or some kind of a sausage that's got cheese in it inside the brat or inside the sausage. I don't know how they do it, but it makes it taste pretty good. So I'm a cheese guy. So
that sounds good. So from the moose that we harvested in September in Alaska, we got bratwurst from it, and they're just terrible, man. They don't taste like bratwurst, but I suppose you have to put cheese, maybe chili cheese. Oh, I might try it with chili cheese. That might work.
You
And
made your own. You made your own brats.
well, they were processed at the processor, but they taste so plain Jane, There's like hardly any seasonings in them. So I'm gonna do chili cheese next time.
Well, maybe
Definitely.
that's what you could call it. Instead of the Juicy Lucy, you could call it the Plain Jane.
Okay, another famous one of mine. Check this out: bacon wrapped lasagna. Boom!
That sounds pretty good.
Anything with bacon is good. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah. No. Anything. I'm a bacon guy too. So I'm not much of a lasagna guy, but putting bacon on it would, yeah, that would probably juice it up a little bit.
Scott, let me ask you this. I've got a bacon cooker. It's you put the bacon half in. It's like a big mug, huge mug, like that, and you drape the bacon over the sides. And it's got a hole in the. It's the bottom is curved upwards, and you put it in the microwave 1 minute for each bacon.
Oh, you lost me when you put it in the microwave.
You've got it in this big cup,
Okay.
and you drape the bacon over the side of the cup.
Okay.
And the bottom has a big reservoir to hold the grease.
Okay.
Put it in the microwave 1 minute for each bacon. Bring it out. It's perfect bacon. You just take the grease and put it into your container.
Do you use pre-cooked bacon or use raw bacon?
Straight up from the package. Just drape it around the sides. 1 minute for each bacon. You cook it.
I'll give that a try, but
I gotta have you over and we'll try that. I gotta have you over and show you that.
Maybe we should do a cooking segment sometime. So
I think we're doing that right now.
No, I mean literally cook. Like all those other cooking shows. You can take a bite of it, and I can take a bite of it, and we'll both say, "Man, that tastes good." Even though we'd really want to say, "Man, that tastes like stuff." So, but anyway.
Okay, back to the lasagna. Imagine if that rich and delicious pasta and cheese were wrapped in a layer of bacon. It's as good as you can possibly imagine. Anything wrapped in bacon is going to be amazing.
Okay, so I got to ask you this. I know this sounds crazy, but how do you wrap the lasagna? You wrap it all the way around the pan?
That's a good question. We're going to get to that. Let me keep going. This little bacon trick instantly makes lasagna a thing of magic. You start by putting the bacon in the Pyrex, right? And draping it over. It could be a thin one. It could be a big one. You might have to use multiple bacons, right? And then it drapes over, right? Then you layer, your pasta, your cheese, your meat, your sauce, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And then you take those wrapped ends and put them back over. I've seen it checkerboarded too. Like, you take a bacon, lay it down, and you take another bacon, lay that, and another. It looks like a checkerboard. I've seen that. But they're raw. The bacon's raw. Then you load it up with all the stuff, wrap it, and then your favorite ingredients, right? Bake at 350 for 40 to 60 minutes. And you have another heavenly dish. Not going to lie, this is one of my favorites.
And then you just leave the bacon on there and chow down.
Yeah. Then you just knife and fork and bacon and lasagna. Oh!
So that's how we do our turkeys at Thanksgiving. So we take our turkey, just like you normally would, and you stick it in your roasting pan, and then you take raw bacon and you cover that bird with raw bacon. And it's not much. You don't get a brown bacon or a brown turkey like you would, coming out of an oven, all picturesque and stuff. But you got that thing covered in bacon. You can take the bacon off and mash it up and stick it in the dressing or mix it in whatever you want. And it's good stuff. Yeah,
you put it over the breasts or over the legs or
everywhere.
Everywhere. Oh,
there's exposed meat. You just put it over. You just lay it over there. You checkerboard, lay it on there.
I'm gonna try that. That sounds good. Stuff. And you bake it just normally in the baster, however long?
Normally, yeah, whatever it does, 350 for however many hours, depending on the size of the bird. So, it makes it for and even if you ruin the turkey, you got all that bacon you can eat.
You got all the bacon. Obviously, you can't do this with like a fryer. You got to put it in the baster.
Yeah, it's got to go in a bag. Yeah, it's either in a bag or you can just put it in a pan, roasting pan. So
yeah, we're gonna try that. All right, folks, we hope that you enjoyed our favorite meals, talking about our favorite meals. And if you like it, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your enemies.
Yep.
Give us some comments. What are your favorite stuff? We want to know.
Let us know what you do with the bacon.
All right, folks, thanks a lot. We'll see you tomorrow.
Take care. Have a good day.
Yep, bye.